All right, good morning. It is Monday, and we are here to correct the subject and verb test. Now, I know many of you were wanting a little bit more support on exactly what to do when you're correcting, so I'd like to show you. I did 4 sentences here because I don't want to spend, a 45-minute video, and I just want to show you how to correctly assess points and to make sure you're, giving yourself the correct score. I will then also show you a finished version of the diagram sheet, so we'll do that in a bit. So when we correct grammar tests, I'm just going to jump right in. We put our total score right here, and hopefully you filled in the total points as we went, which I gave you last Friday, because then you can know how many that you're looking for. Now, one of the things that gets kids tripped up for number of points is labels versus parentheses, so I'm going to show you that right now. So our total is out of 172. And you'd put your correct number here, and then you follow your steps for how to make that a percentage, okay? Basically, from now on, ignore this, because that we don't grade the same way this book does. So anything here, don't be confused by that, okay? Same too on your answer sheets, where it has this thing, that box right there. Sorry, it's very awkward to use that. This, ignore that. That's not, we don't use that at all. So I wish I could take it off. Maybe I'll figure out a way to take it off. Okay, let's go. So let's look at number 1. Number 1 had that understood you, the implied you. And so for me, when I'm doing that, I always put that understood you in parentheses next to it. It's not a point. You don't need to. I just do that to help remind myself. So you're going to go through and have your answer key next to you. You're either going to use the digital copy or the one in the packet that I gave you. And you can have those either side by side, or if you're doing the computer, just have your screen open. So study is an action verb. This is an adjective. Beautiful is an adjective. Poem is a noun. About Texas's early settlers is a prepositional phrase. About is a preposition. Texas's is an adjective, early is an adjective, settlers is a noun, parentheses, please. So this is a total of 9 points, and this is how I count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the parentheses together is 1 point. So total out of 9 points. This one, I got 9 points. I got everything correct. Woohoo! Let's look at number 2. Students is not a proper noun. It is just, somebody maybe made that mistake because there's a capital letter there. That's actually just a common noun, so what you're going to do is circle it. Of American culture is a prepositional phrase. Of is a preposition. American is an adjective. Culture is a noun. Parentheses, please. Read is an action verb. The is an article. Literature is a noun. Of all our poets is a prepositional phrase. Of is a preposition. All is an adjective. Our is an adjective. Poets is a noun. Parentheses, please. Now I know I'm going quickly through it, but you have it visually in front of you, and I don't want to do a super long video. So here we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points. I missed 1 label, so you count the circles. 1 circle, 1 less than 13. I got a 12 out of 13 on that sentence. Let's keep going. Number 3, they is a pronoun. Want is an action verb. Information is a noun. It's an ION word. About America's early settlers is a prepositional phrase. About is a preposition. America's, it has an apostrophe S. Apostrophe S's are always going to be modifiers. They're always adjectives, so that is incorrect. Early is an adjective. Settlers is a noun. Parentheses, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points total. And I got 1 wrong, so I got a 7. All right, now I'm going to give some examples of how you can mess up your parentheses, and I'm going to show you how to note that for what points you missed. Students is a noun. In this school is a prepositional phrase. In is a preposition. This is an adjective. School is a noun. I'm missing this parenthesis. So I draw that in. That's what we do instead of circling it, because it's kind of weird to circle where a parenthesis should be. So I'm missing that. We'll come back to that. Read is an action verb. Examples is a noun. Of this type of literature, of this type is a prepositional phrase. Of is a preposition. This is an adjective. Type is a noun. Of literature is a prepositional phrase, and I have of as a preposition. Literature is a noun, but I'm missing that parenthesis. So, in this sentence, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 total points. I wonder if anybody can figure out how many points they lost. Because this parenthesis is in the wrong spot, that means you missed that point, so that's 1. This parenthesis was missing the second one, that's another point off. This one was missing that one, so that's another point off, so we actually missed 3 points here, so it's 11 out of 14. So we got all of the labels correct, but because we didn't show where the prepositional phrase ended correctly, those are, you missed those points. So let's say you did, let's go down to number 5. About is a preposition, and if you closed it there, and you still have an adjective and noun, you'd still miss 1 point because your parenthesis was supposed to be there. If you did, let's keep going. For of our roots, that's a prepositional phrase. If you just did the preposition and you don't have any parentheses at all, it's still only 1 point because these parentheses together equal 1 point. Okay? So if it's in the wrong spot or you're missing them completely, you don't miss multiple points. You only miss 1 point for the parentheses as a pair. Okay? Another thing to show you is, if I can show it, this is our verbal, to understand. We're going to do a video on verbals this week, but just know that when we see the word to, which is normally a preposition, but the word that comes right after it is a verb, like to understand something, understand is a verb, we know it's a verbal with wings. The last funky thing is this number 10 was our inverted sentence. So, action verb, adjective, actually we don't do that. Do adjective, adjective, noun, about is a preposition, our is an adjective, ancestors is a noun, parentheses please. So this one is our inverted sentence where our subject comes after our verb. Okay, this is our subject, this is our verb. Now, on your test you had to do numbers 1 through 4. Okay. For that, the total for the labeling was out of 113 points. So you go back and you count all your circles, all your red marks. You can either do it with the numbers on the left side, or what I like to do is I just go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I take that out of 113. There are multiple ways to do it, but that's why we make sure we do the circle and make it clear and don't use black pen. This is out of 9 points. Each of these sentences that have one thing to answer is out of 1 point, but this one, you're lucky, is out of 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, you need to make sure that you are actually getting the correct answers here. Make sure that they are exact because you have them in your notes. Don't be lazy, okay? And then each of these down here, each of our jobs are worth 5 points. So if there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 10 times 5. It's kind of weird because I can't. Maybe I can do it like this. Oh, I can. Is out of a total of 50 points. So it kind of hurts. Let's say you had, for American, you had that as a subject. It's not. It's actually a modifier. You would. I do it like that, and then I write in the correct answer for myself. So, and that unfortunately would be -5, so let's say I had all these filled in and they were correct, my total would be 45 out of 50. And we do those chunks so that we can do the top number here, we can do the top number here, and we can do the top number here to add them all up to get our total out of 172. Okay? I hope this kind of helped a little bit with how we're going to be grading our tests. I hope you are being tough on yourself and you are making sure that you're not giving yourself points when you shouldn't be, because grading in grammar, it is okay to get stuff wrong, but it's not okay to not learn from our mistakes. Mistakes are going to happen in grammar constantly. That's cool, but you have to be able and willing to learn from them. All right. Remember, you can pause or go back to anything that I covered. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the answers for the subject and verb diagram sheet. So you can actually pause the video. Oh, I'm going to make sure this, you can pause the video to correct your diagramming sheet. And what I do is I just give myself like a check mark when I've got those parts, okay? So if you're missing one or two parts, it's not a big deal. Right now, do not include in score. We will be doing something interesting with this later, so we do not include this in our score right now. Last thing I'm going to show you. Remember, you can pause the video and grade. Last thing I'm going to show you is all the ones that you didn't have to do the diagram sheet for. So numbers 5, 6, 7, and 9, I'm going to show you what their baseline looks like. So number 5, they want. Maybe it's more legible. Maybe you can see it better with a pencil. Number 6, understanding helps. Number 7, Americans appreciate. You did a full diagram for 8. Number 9, literature gives. And that's all you need to do for the baseline diagrams. They are just so that you are getting a practice of remembering and paying attention to. You don't need to do this, I'm just adding it, that this is our subject and our verb. It's going to be very important for us to be able to identify our subject and our verb in every single sentence, okay? So that is grading the subject and verb test. You will include your score for the subject and verb test in your exit ticket for today. Thank you for watching. I hope these videos are helpful because I'm going to keep trying to do them with the document camera, even though I know you can't see my lovely face. I'm sorry. You can see it in language arts. Because I'm hoping that having this in front of you is going to be a little bit more helpful than me just talking. So, yeah, I hope you had an awesome weekend, and I will see you in language arts, and I hope that this helped. Bye.